I've been wanting to do a vlog for a while, specifically about how the Avengers had individual movies before they had a team movie, but it didn't really. I don't know. I haven't done that vlog. I don't have thoughts on the subject until I watched Eternal the other day, and Eternals as a team movie, I think kind of sucked. I think there were a lot of there were too many characters for one movie without them having been introduced already. I really think they should have gone the same route as Marvel did with the Avengers and introduced the characters in individual movies, maybe where there were couples, maybe even a love triangle with Icarus, Circe, and Sprite. Because Sprite obviously had some kind of feelings for him, and but before they did a group movie, because I granted that's an opinion. I don't think they carried it off very well, and I did a vlog the other day about how that huge cast of characters, that's the first reason why I didn't connect with them. I mean, you can't get emotionally connected to people who you're like, why is this person important to me? You don't really know the character so much. But so that's led me to think about the Avengers, how they all had independent movies. So the main characters had independent projects. And I think the only ones from the main Avengers group that I haven't seen Incredible Hulk. I think that's the only movie I haven't seen from the main group. And I wanted to address a little bit Hawkeye and Black Widow. The series Hawkeye, we were watching it, and when they mentioned Nat's sister, I don't remember, Yelena, well, I was like, we better stop this. So my wife and I stopped it, and we watched Black Widow, because they introduced the character in Black Widow first. I think Black Widow was a pretty good movie, but it would have been better if it had come out before Natasha Romanoff died. I think it's kind of weird having a prequel movie. It's just, but I know it's just studio issues, and COVID probably got in the way, and I don't know, pushed it back. But so she probably could have had a movie before, even if it had been the exact same movie. If it had come out like 3 years ago or something, it would be a lot better, I think, and it'd be better received, because it would make more sense getting the backstory of somebody who is a living character than getting the backstory of somebody who just died. It just didn't have the same impact. In Hawkeye having a series rather than a movie, to me that made sense, because he's not one of the core Avengers. I mean, he kind of is a core Avenger, but he's kind of like a side Avenger. I mean, he's not like the all-powerful ones that people know of. He's not really popular Avenger, and so it makes sense to me that he had a series. But really, I think individual series is the way to be, and the MCU is really going with the individual rather than the team, and I kind of hope that's how they do the X-Men. How are we going to bring the X-Men in the MCU? Meaning, there have been a lot of fan theories. I think what they should do is introduce a few characters, like gradually, in different movies, maybe have their own individual movies, and then introduce the X-Men. It's probably going to be a different lineup than the first lineup from the comics. So I just think it, and they're gonna have to. Xavier and Magneto are gonna have to have different backstories, because Xavier was around the Holocaust. I mean, that's whenever Magneto got his start. So Xavier is an old dude too. So, and they can't do that because that was a lot longer ago than when the comics started. What was it? Late 60s, I think. That was possible, but now it's too long ago for it to have been the Holocaust. Was their start. So they're gonna have different backstories, and I think the team lineup will be different. But I hope they don't just plop the entire team on screen at first, because if it's anything like the Eternals, it'll be like too many people, and you won't. I mean, by the end of Eternals, by the middle, we were still like, who's so-and-so's power? Who's that? You know, because it wasn't really clear, you know, who was who. And it just, I think it would be better to be invested in the character before they hit the screen in a group setting like that. I mean, we'll see. Because it was the Avengers formula. I guess that's what people call it, a formula. And I think it worked really well. I think all the movies. None of them stand out that I just didn't like. The Avengers movie. And the next team might be the Young Avengers, might be Avengers West Coast, you know, one of those variant groups. The New Avengers, I've heard people talk about it online. But whatever the team is that takes the place of the Avengers, I really hope they introduce it in a good way. They'll have good viewership, and it'll be good for the fans of the comics. I can't say I was really a fan of Avengers comics. Out of all the characters, when I was collecting comics, I had maybe 3 or 4 Spider-Man books, but just because they were like in packs. When I bought a pack, happened to have some Spider-Man in it. I did have an issue of Avengers West Coast one time, but I didn't read the Avengers, so I can't be included in those comic fans of X-Men. Yeah, I was an avid reader of the X-Men for 5 or 6 years, but I digress, and that's all I have to say about that for now.